What are some tips that you might have for things like networking to gather the right team? Because I know that, looking at your career, you've always surrounded yourself with the best and the brightest.
I have been fortunate in the teams that I've worked with, and you have to adjust. And if something is not going right, the sooner you acknowledge it and deal with it, the better. I look for the same passion that I feel about it. I mean, the Sisterhood Is Global team, for example, that was a 13-year project. And by the end of it, we were living in the office. We had little pallets there. We had a resident dog and a resident cat because nobody had a chance to go home and feed the cat or walk the dog because we were on deadline. So there was a real family feel to that. And we were there at 5 o'clock in the morning. We were there at 3 o'clock in the morning, working from the night before. So when you get that kind of passion, then you know you're fine. I'm not interested in people arriving at 9 and leaving at 5. I'm interested in people who, I don't care if they're there for 1 hour, or they're not there at all, they're working at home, or they're at the beach somewhere, as long as the work gets done. And as long as the work gets done with excellence that it deserves. I will tell you a wonderful, happy story about a former intern from the Sisterhood Is Global. She was very young. She was new to New York. Her parents had just come from China, and they had been living in the Midwest, and they were born-again Christians. And she came on a scholarship to New York and knew nobody. But she discovered she was quite lonely, and she discovered that there was an internship open at Sisterhood Is Global, and that sounded interesting. So she came to us, and she then, in a sense, never left. She came to us and earned her credits working as an intern. Then she came back as a volunteer and worked with us to the end of the project, another 3 years. She was always extremely bright, and she decided she loved research, which is what she was doing with us. She has turned into one of the senior women at J.P. Morgan Chase, and she heads the global research division. She has 1,000 people working under her. And when she was asked, I think it was by Forbes or the Wall Street Journal, have you ever had a woman boss? She said, I've only ever had one woman boss, and that she named me, which I think is so flattering, and I didn't think of myself as a boss. We reconvened, we re-met recently and had a wonderful dinner, and she mentors women left, right, and center and tries to bring that with her into being one of the senior women at J.P. Morgan Chase.
Wow. You just never know the impact you'll have
Never,
and where and
never.
what stage of someone's life.
No, it's extraordinary. And she was always very shy, but incredibly hardworking, and she still is. But that sense of real excellence of whatever I'm going to do it really well. And she said, I guess in a strange way, I'm still researching international affairs, except I'm doing it about finance. But she has started a number of projects that particularly have impact on women and girls in the global South. So wow. That was a real unexpected, absolute gift.